I arise in the morning torn between a desire to improve the world and a desire to enjoy the world. This makes it hard to plan the day. Genius is more often found in a cracked pot than in a whole one. Prejudice is a great time saver. You can form opinions without having to get the facts. Everything in life is somewhere else, and you get there in a car. Luck is not something you can mention in the presence of self-made men. Analyzing humor is like dissecting a frog. Few people are interested and the frog dies of it. The terror of the atom age is not the violence of the new power but the speed of man's adjustment to it, the speed of his acceptance. Democracy is the recurrent suspicion that more than half of the people are right more than half of the time. I don't know which is more discouraging, literature or chickens. A good farmer is nothing more nor less than a handy man with a sense of humus. We should all do what, in the long run, gives us joy, even if it is only picking grapes or sorting the laundry. It is not often that someone comes along who is a true friend and a good writer. One of the most time-consuming things is to have an enemy. There's no limit to how complicated things can get, on account of one thing always leading to another. To perceive Christmas through its wrappings becomes more difficult with every year. The time not to become a father is 18 years before a war. Writing is an act of faith, not a trick of grammar. All we need is a meteorologist who has once been soaked to the skin without ill effect. No one can write knowingly of the weather who walks bent over on wet days. The only sense that is common in the long run is the sense of change, and we all instinctively avoid it. It is easier for a man to be loyal to his club than to his planet, the bylaws are shorter, and he is personally acquainted with the other members. The critic leaves at curtain fall to find, in starting to review it, he scarcely saw the play at all for starting to review it. Old age is a special problem for me because I've never been able to shed the mental image I have of myself, a lad of about 19. Commas in the New Yorker fall with the precision of knives in a circus act, outlining the victim. The world is full of people who have never, since childhood, met an open doorway with an open mind. Whatever else an American believes or disbelieves about himself, he is absolutely sure he has a sense of humor. The World Organization debates disarmament in one room and, in the next room, moves the knights and pawns that make national arms imperative. I can only assume that your editorial writer tripped over the First Amendment and thought it was the office cat. English usage is sometimes more than mere taste, judgment, and education. Sometimes it's sheer luck, like getting across the street. The trouble with the profit system has always been that it was highly unprofitable to most people. A writer is like a bean plant, he has his little day, and then gets stringy. I have yet to see a piece of writing, political or non-political, that doesn't have a slant. All writing slants the way a writer leans, and no man is born perpendicular, although many men are born upright. When I was a child, people simply looked about them and were moderately happy. Today they peer beyond the 7 seas, bury themselves waist-deep in tidings, and by and large what they see and hear makes them unutterably sad. I would feel more optimistic about a bright future for man if he spent less time proving that he can outwit nature and more time tasting her sweetness and respecting her seniority. Right to breathe and the right to vote, the freedom to choose their friends, enjoy the sunshine, and ride on the railroads, uncursed by color, thinking, dreaming, working as they will in a kingdom of beauty and love. The Negro race, like all races, is going to be saved by its exceptional men. The problem of education, then, among Negroes must first of all deal with the talented 10th. It is the problem of developing the best of this race that they may guide the mass away from the contamination and death of the worst, in their own and other races.